watching this on the replay, put hashtag replay. And if you're on our YouTube, then great to see you as well too. But what's going on, everybody? If you can hear me okay, give me a big wave or put a 5 in the comments below. It's an honor to have you here today. I've been really looking forward to tonight's call because by popular demand by the ladies, we have now put this call together. And I'm titling tonight, Men Have Hormones Too. In a bit, you're going to hear from a couple of studs, literally. And we're going to literally have all different aspects of stories of health and wellness that are going to inspire you or someone that you know. So if you're a man, listen up. Especially though, if you're a woman, listen up too, because the reality is this: men are pretty stubborn sometimes. Can we agree? Who here is a stubborn man in your life? Give me a wave or put a me in the comments. Yeah, like a little. I was like, hey, I'll admit it for myself. I speak on behalf of men everywhere. We can be pretty stubborn, but I think God put it somewhere where women have this tone. Art knows this well. It's this tone of it just cuts down your defenses, and you have someone half your size that can just wreck you. You're like, how does this work? I don't get it, but I do at the same time. So anywho, we're going to speak about some really important topics because we're going to talk about these quote unquote skinny drops, what they do for hormones and weight loss and so many other different things. That's probably why you're on this call. If you're on here either using these drops or you've heard of someone that's using this, you want to find out some more information and definitely take some notes on today. So we're going to go through that. We're going to talk to Kekoa and Art in a bit and think who needs to hear this type of information. But above all, we're going to have fun. All right. So with that said, just to introduce myself so we're not complete strangers, my name is James Zheng, and I first got introduced to these drops. And I'll just I'm going to speak on behalf of men today. Okay. I'm going to kind of say this a little bit different. Men are pretty simple creatures. What do men want? Men want women. That's what it is. Okay. So I bring this up because it was a big thing for me. I grew up a chubby kid because of the American Standard Diet, the Standard American Diet. SAD, isn't it funny? It's spelled as sad, actually, because it's a very sad diet. So I grew up a chubby kid, and I realized, well, if I'm chubby, I probably not higher odds to get a queen. If you want to have a queen, you must be a king, and vice versa. So I realized I needed to take care of my physical body. To be honest, I'll just be real with you. It was nothing about health. I could care less. I was young and invincible. You guys remember those days, right? Like, whatever. But I got to a point when the things that I knew to do to keep fit were not working. Now, do you guys remember in your life, whether men or women, when there was just that one time in your life that you ate that thing that you knew would normally not affect you, but then it just hung on a little bit too long, right? It didn't go down right that time. You wake up on Monday after the weekend, you're like, I still feel a little bit pudgier, like I still see these things, So, and life gets busy. I was working and I didn't have time to go to the gym, and I try to eat healthy, but let's be real, especially men. Men, we have vices. Men, we kind of have our comfort stuff. Women too, but men, we just kind of like to, we like to enjoy certain things out there. And I got to a point when the things I was doing before just weren't working and I was stuck. And whatever that is for you, maybe it's a wellness condition, maybe you've had some type of diagnosis, maybe you've had something in your life that's been really paining you or someone around you. Have you been in a place where you've been stuck in your health before, right? Put a 1 in the comments if that's the case. And I needed to figure something out. So that's when I got introduced to these quote unquote skinny drops. And this was, 12 years ago. I was skeptical because you're telling me that these drops can lead you to weight loss. That does not make sense to me. I think this is how guys think a lot too. We're like, you got to do it the good old fashioned way. You got to be like Rambo. You got to, go kill a cow with your own 2 hands and cook it yourself, and, go run through the mountains or something. And that's how you get like really fit and stuff. We're like, aren't that much so into wellness as a whole. But when I took a look at the science and I took a look at the clinical trials, and I noticed it's all natural ingredients, it's really good stuff, I gave it a shot. And I actually was able to lose 25 pounds in 40 days with no exercise. And I was mind blown. The fat just dripped off, my cravings changed. And it was only after the fact, so I'm just gonna be honest today, it was only after the fact that I realized, wow, this is doing more than just weight loss, because these quote unquote skinny drops are not just about weight loss, by the way. I'm just gonna give you the ending, right? This is not just about weight loss, it's about body balancing. And all of us need body balancing. And more specifically, I learned about hormones that need to be balanced. And that's what got me down this rabbit hole, because I experienced it, it worked. And I was just like, why is this working? I wanted to understand. And after I understood why it worked, and we started to help people on these drops, and we put together a whole system to support people through this, for the past 12 years, me and my wife are actually one of the first original partners of this product. So for the past 12 years, we've helped thousands of people transform and balance their bodies and help them from all ages, all sizes, all ethnicities, all backgrounds, because this can work for you too, if you understand how it really, really works. Okay. So with that said, how does this really work and why is it so beautiful? Well, let's talk about this product a bit, and in a bit, I will bring up our special guest right here. Okay. What is important is when you pick some type of program that it's safe for you, right? Like, I'm down to try a lot of things, but I just want to make sure that I don't die from it. So this one is not even close to that. This is as healthy and clean as it can be. It is certified by all different types of independent agencies out there. The products are natural, they're vegan free, they're soy free, like they're all that type of stuff. So there's consistent quality results over the course of time. And the way they work are very simple. We talk about body balancing. There's 2 drops. The first one's called Slenderize. The second one's called Accelerate. If you're in our international markets, they're also known as day and night drops. So there's kind of 2 formulations going out there, but they do the same thing. The Slenderize is a homeopathic body balancing ingredients. Things like supporting the thyroid, things like supporting the metabolism, things like boosting up fat loss, and just helping you curb bad cravings and things like that. Okay. Basically, what this first one does is it is the guy's liquid discipline. Because guys, if you try to, I'm telling you, man, I know some stubborn men in my life, myself included. And if you try to tell a man to change the way that he eats, good luck. Like they know it might kill them, but it tastes good. Right? It's like, but if it tastes good, I've been doing it for years, right? Come on. We all know someone like that. It's tough. So this helps to do the liquid discipline. It helps to curb the appetite, where I noticed that I actually craved healthy food rather than the bad food out there. Okay. The second one is their Accelerate. This is adaptogenic herbs like ashwagandha and also vitamin B12. And these help with lowering stress, balancing cortisol, supporting mood, supporting energy. So you feel good. When people start taking this, you just use this 3 times a day on your tongue. And then you have a good, your normal healthy stuff. It helps you to feel better. It helps you to boost your mood. It helps you to curb the bad cravings. And if you're looking for weight loss, the average woman loses half a pound a day. This is when it's unfair in a guy's situation. Guys do lose weight faster. Guys have typically lost 2/3 a pound a day. Okay. So I think God made it this way though. God gave women more intelligence than men. So we have to lose weight faster to make up for it. Okay. So that's kind of what I think is going on. But with that, we've seen a lot of amazing results with that. I mean, I'll just speak on behalf of myself, right? But these are the hormones, right? We're talking about things like cortisol. We're talking about things like insulin. Guys too. Let me tell you some things that really plague men. Men, I won't ask you to point them out here, but does anyone here know somebody that has or is beginning to have a dad bod? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Big belly, but it's not like their limbs are fat, or maybe they have man boobs, moobs, like their cups are, they're growing in there, they're filling in, delayed puberty or something. I'm going in tonight. Hey, guys, I know ladies are on this, but I'm speaking to guys right now. Couple of things on this. I should not look at the chat box because It's too funny. No, but this is a big deal because what happens, the reason why moobs happen, the reason why the dad bod happens is actually because of hormone imbalance. Men are not supposed to grow boobs. All right. You know why that is? Estrogen imbalance, for example, whether it's in the food that we eat, whether it's because of, the meats that we have, they're injected with hormones, all the, too much soy, all these different things that are happening. So that actually causes hormonal imbalances where men are having these different things that start to happen to their body physically. That's not a good thing. Also, another thing that happens with men is that the dad bod starts to happen. What's a dad bod? Have you ever known somebody that they have that gut, but it's interesting. It's not flabby, really. It's kind of hard. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like you can poke on their stomach and it's like rock solid. You're like, this is weird. Now, do you know why that's the case? This is actually not a good sign because fat grows on top of like in front of the organs. If you imagine a body, fat grows in front of your abs. But if you have a hard gut, what that means is there's something behind your abs pushing out your gut. So it comes out. So it's not putting fat on top of the abs, it's putting fat behind. Many times, this is fat that is wrapped around the stomach, wrapped around the organs. This is called visceral fat. Visceral fat is toxic fat. Visceral fat, the more you have, is precursors. It's signs of things like high blood sugar, things like high blood pressure, things like high cholesterol, things like type 2 diabetes. A lot of men start to experience these types of symptoms that the doctors will say, hey, you got this, you got that, where the underlying reason behind it is because their bodies are not balanced. They're having more visceral fat, and all this stuff is starting to get out of whack. If you're still with me right now, put a 2 in the comments below. This is huge. And that's why men have a lot of issues with their health. And it's not just about a weight loss thing. But what also happens to you with men, whether they're aware of it or not, when your body changes, let's just be real, your confidence goes down, right? There is such a thing as male ego. Men want to be and feel strong, right? We want to be the man in the household. Like we want to be these types of things. So if you want to be confident as a man, or if you want your man to be confident, if you want to be healthy, if you want to stay around long enough to watch your children, your children's children, and be there physically, right? Like Pam here, she's a retired registered nurse. She loves this saying that we want to die young at a very old age. It is imperative that we do something sooner rather than later. And guys, specifically, I got to talk to you, and we're going to remind you at the end of this. Out of anybody, because we're so stubborn, we need to be very wary about the warning signs earlier rather than later, because many times it's only until we hit the hospital bed that we finally realize that we need to make a change. Okay. We got nurses here. I'm sure you've seen that many times. So anywho, I know that's kind of a serious notion, but it's very important because we need this. I want to bring up a special guest here. And this person is an incredible example of both what this system can do, but also like why it's so important to take care of our health and everything. But Koa, how are you, my man?
Doing well, James.
You're doing well. You're looking well and everything. So,
Thank
Koa, looking at you now, most people would not know your backstory. If I know Koa's smiley, he's always positive. He's from Hawaii, so he's got that, that aloha spirit to him. He is legitimately Hawaiian. Your whole family's from there, right?
Correct.
Nice. You are culturally Hawaiian. But I want to go back because you have quite the story. This is not just any, normal youth, but can you tell us what was happening in these photos?
Yeah, so the photo on your right, that was before what I'll talk about. That was me about a year and a half before my surgeries. The
Hmm.
photo on the left is me going through my second brain tumor, and I had three brain tumors in total. And it's always been a rough roller coaster of a ride health wise. but I've got through it and I'm here and alive and healthy and free.
You had three brain tumors by what age?
So 4, 5, and 6 was my three brain tumors.
Oh my gosh. And these were just like random, you don't even know what happened, just came out of nowhere things.
Yeah, it just popped up one day and it
Wow.
was horrible because I was at preschool and I just started screaming and crying and we're on a school field trip at a fire
Mm,
place of fire, yeah.
wow.
And my mom guys and the doctors didn't know what was wrong with me and it was such a tough ride to figure out that I actually had tumors.
Wow. Wow. Gosh. Well, grateful that you're here, my man. Healthy, not just alive, but thriving, which is awesome. And of course, you survived those surgeries, miracle in itself. But through all the things that you went through, what were some of the after effects that you noticed in your, like the residual effects in your body and your health and your weight and all that?
Yes. So I don't want to go too much in medical details, but
Mhm.
my pituitary gland was removed on my third surgery.
Mm,
That's basically like your main control of all your hormones and basically balances your body for you without you knowing.
wow.
And so that was removed at 6 years old. So
Wow.
after that surgery, weight just started to pile on about 30 pounds each month and going and going and going until I'm overweight and obese because of that. And it's always been an issue of my doctors saying diet and exercise, diet and exercise. And I've tried so many different things and it's been a long journey to get here.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So, this isn't just any normal, I tried it all and didn't work. This is, I mean, you literally were lacking the thing that could help you with weight loss and balancing and everything. So, what did you notice when you started on these drops then?
So the first thing that I noticed is that I started to get better sleep and my
Mm.
hot flashes were gone because my body's temperature is kind of like
You had
even.
hot flashes? Wow. So men have hot flashes too. This is news to me. No, but that's a serious, that shows that there's serious hormonal imbalance, right? And that's all hot flashes pretty much are, right? So that's huge. So they went away. So you were like, you felt good. Yeah.
Go out, please. Sorry
They
about
should
that.
join you. They should join you. All good. Yeah. So your hot flashes went away. So that was like, wow.
So that
Oh,
was the first two things I've noticed about my first week on the drops
in
is
1 week. Wow. Okay.
yeah. And then after that, I started to notice on the scale that my weight started to drop. In the first
Hmm.
couple weeks, I lost about 10 pounds, and then it just gradually started to lessen and lessen and lessen. And I was like, what in the world is happening?
Wow. Wow. That is amazing. Well, Koa, we are so proud of you. And we know it's just turned the journey around for your health. And now you're just continuing on your journey.
Yeah.
So we are so proud of you, man. And so honored to have you here. Such an inspiring story. You've lost how much now?
So at the moment, I've lost 40 pounds, and it's
40
a
pounds.
miracle.
Wow. Come on. And you have
Yeah.
an ultimate goal?
Yes. So at the moment, the goal is to lose 115 pounds more by
Let's
my
go.
birthday, which is July 18th.
Let's freaking go. All right. Well, hey, community, Wellness 360 community, who here's down to support Koa in that journey, right? Give me a wave or put a 5 in the comments.
Sweet.
We're so proud of you. Koa, thank you for being an inspiration to all of us and reminder that you can never be too young to take care of your health. So
True.
huge congrats, man. Super
Thank you
congrats.
so much.
You're absolutely welcome. I mean, I know Koa's situation is more of an extreme situation, but I hope I love Koa's story because it's a reminder for me that why we shouldn't wait until it has to be a serious situation, right? Like, and I'm not saying these things will happen to everybody, but you never know what's going to happen out there. So these drops work for many different men. I mean, we have our friend Russell that lost 27 pounds in 30 days. Not only that, he found, I'm not saying anything, we're not here to treat, diagnose, or cure anything, but he found his asthma got better to the point he didn't need his meds anymore. And his smoking cravings went away. His vices went away, basically. We have Reese. This works for skeptical people. Reese lost 50 plus pounds and he was getting on it to prove to his wife that it didn't work. Guess what? It worked. Hey, Damon, welcome to the call. We have Lenny. And then he was on 3 diabetes meds, was able to use his program, lost over 40 pounds. And he found that his A1C got balanced to the point. He didn't get off just one, not two, but all 3 meds. I mean, that was his story, right? This system helps you to balance your body and get you to the lifestyle that you need to do to start to have all these different types of things start to happen to your body, you know? But our last guest is somebody that I'm just so excited to bring on today. He's got the voice of the gods. Like, you just want to listen to him all the time. And we have Mr. Art Sanders and his better half, Joanne Hewitt, right there as well too. Joanne Hewitt Sanders. So with that, I know this was before. I know we're going to see this later for an update, but I wanted to bring up Art today to share your story. But Art, how are you, my man?
Fine. Good evening, everybody.
Come on, that voice. Isn't that a radio voice? You could listen to that all day, man. Well, Mr. Art, it's an honor to have you on here today. And your story is incredible. But do you mind sharing with us a little bit of a glimpse to what was Art's health journey like, your health snapshot like before your wife started feeding you this stuff?
Well, we can go back when we were all shut down for the virus. That's when it started. Joanne and I, we were eating everything. Yeah, we were pacifying ourselves with ice cream and everything we wanted. But I noticed that my stomach was pronounced, and that was unusual for me.
Mm,
And not that I was vain or anything, but I felt more it was like a health concern. So I started to work out, and then Joanne, she was taking the drops, and she asked me, she said, "Well, why don't you try the drops?" And I said, well, reluctantly, I said, "Okay, I'll try the drops."
mm.
And within a week, maybe two, I lost 4 or 5 pounds.
Wow.
And before that, I was working out, and I couldn't drop that weight. It was just stubborn.
Mm,
So that made a believer out of me.
wow.
Yeah. And so I started taking the drops religiously. And uh, January, between January and now, I was like 232 pounds, 234 pounds.
Mm.
And this morning I'm down to 209.
So 25 pounds since January?
Yeah, 209.
Come on, in less than 2 months, you lost 25 pounds. What's the biggest difference
I,
in completion?
I,
He looks good.
I have,
So are you saying you didn't look good, chunkier,
He
Joanne?
looks real good. Okay, it's your turn.
I walk
Um,
four, I walk 4 times a week,
wow.
two and a
Wow.
half, 3 miles.
Wow.
And then I also do intermittent fasting.
Oh, so big.
And I think that's a big help. Yeah.
Absolutely. We
But
teach
I, I,
intermittent.
I would like to go back.
Yeah.
I, I had prostate cancer, and the young man before me, Kekoa, I
Mm.
can understand about the hot flash because I had hot flashes after the prostate cancer. So I realized what hot flashes are, and they're not pleasant at all.
You're not there anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're gone. The hot flashes are gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
hot flashes are gone. But I feel great. Yeah, at 75 years old, I feel great.
75.
Yeah, 75. Yeah, I feel
Come
great.
on, man. All right. After this, I'm gonna go. Well, I got my drops here. I'm gonna take my drops. I'm gonna go do my power
I,
walk.
I was going to take, I was going to tell the young man if he would live closer, I would work out with him.
So awesome. Come on. All right. That is amazing. And what would you say? So you lose 25 pounds. I mean, that's a significant amount. Um, what would you say the biggest changes in just your life has been now from these changes in your health?
Well, one being my energy level, I sleep better,
Mm,
and my mood is better. Joanne may say otherwise,
wow.
but my mood is much better.
Joanne?
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Okay. All right. We're working on it. We're works in progress, women. We try
Right.
our best, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. I'm gonna throw you some brownie points, brother. It's gonna be you're good. I see it right there. Art, we are just so inspired by you. Thank you for being, I mean, your goals, seriously, you've set a standard for all of us to be able to aspire to.
Oh,
And we thank you for sharing your story.
thank you. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
All right. Well, hey, so much inspiration, so much incredible news right here. And guys, if you have not yet used the drops, highly, highly recommend. It doesn't matter if you have weight to lose or necessarily, it's about body balancing, and all of us could use more balanced bodies. So highly encourage you, get with your friend after this and be like, hey, how do I get started on that thing? You know, the drops work really well when they're in your system. So just try it. We can all use more body balancing. And I just love those stories that were there. And women, hey, let me just ask the women here, who here thought of a man that absolutely needed this after you heard this today, right? Give me a wave or put a me in the comments. Yeah, it's like, women, we need you, honestly, like, because we're just stubborn, like I mentioned. So use your womanly power and your influence and help us guys. Joanne did that for Art, and we would love your help. He's sitting right here. That's good job. Good job. All right. So with that, a couple last things here. Some of you might be like, yeah, I'd love to be able to hop on that. Some of you might already be thinking, man, I might consider using this. When you get the drops, it's 1 month supply for them. So someone might think, well, maybe I might use them for a couple of months. Or maybe you're already thinking, I know like a couple people that need this already. If that's the case, something I'd encourage for you, a very popular option, you can get them as a customer, grab them from your friend. They can give it to you at a bulk price discount. But another thing that's popular, you might want to consider partner with the company for a one-time $30 membership. And then you actually get wholesale pricing on the product. You save more money. And you also have the ability to share. When you share, you can actually earn. In fact, if you share this with 3 people, you can get yours paid for. So a lot of people, they actually like getting the membership. They grab this 4-pack and they actually save 50% per set of drops just by doing this. So that might be something you want to consider. And definitely chat with your friend more about that information afterwards as well. Damon's just drops his arrived today. Good, let's go. And hey, Dan, great to see you there as well too. But as we close this out, I mean, it's just so important that I hope that the big message that we got today is you're never too young. It's never too late to take charge of your health. We all wish we could have changed the past, but the past is past. The only thing we can change is what we do today. And I'm just so grateful that we have the story of Kekoa, and then we have the story of Art, who are on 2 completely sides of the spectrum, and yet they share that same message. And they came together, they made the decision to prioritize their health. They found some good tools and resources to be able to help them, and they turned it around. If they can do it, and they have extreme situations, I mean, what's my excuse? That's kind of what I think about things, you know? So with that, we'd love to invite you to a couple of last things as well too. If you were interested, by the way, in anything of how this can work, if you're like, man, I see there's opportunities here. I know there's a lot of people that can benefit. We'd love to invite you tomorrow night, same time, same link. I'm going to bring on a couple that is really done some incredible things to look at this as a business. We figured out a system, by the way, using these drops where people can make 6 figures in 6 months all from their phone. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, we're going to be interviewing James and Angel. We were just on their call right before this. They're professionals in this industry. They made 7 figures plus, and they're going to be talking about why 7-figure plus earners, professionals, are flocking to this right now. There's something unique. This isn't just some small side thing. This is something major to be on the forefront of something huge. So if you're interested in that, by the way, if you are interested in information like that, put a 1 in the comments just so I know we can have fun with that one. And the final invitation I'll give to you, awesome, is all hands on deck for this one. All right, all hands on deck for this one. If you like Koa's story, if you liked Art's story, in fact, I can't wait because we're going to have not just Art, but also Art and Joanne. They're going to share a couple transformation on this call next Wednesday, and they're going to show some updated photos. They're going to blow your mind. So next Wednesday, we're going to do an end of the quarter, get into spring, Wellness 360 wide, customer appreciation party. We're going to have raffles. We're going to have prizes. We're going to have guests. This is co-hosted by our Wellness Council member, retired registered nurse Pam Middleton, health and hormones expert Angie Bloom Hewitt. We're going to have fun. We're going to learn. We're going to be inspired. And it's just going to be a great night. So next week, you can register. I just put this in the chat. You want to come on and bring every single person that you want to, because this information literally could be life-saving. I just want to think, can you imagine Joanne did not share this with her husband, did not get over maybe the original skepticisms, and then nothing changed? Wouldn't that be one of the most selfish things ever? But Joanne was a loving wife. And perhaps you're a loving friend or a family member. And you might know somebody that desperately needs something in their life right now. The best gift you can give is information like this, getting in front of people so they can take a look at this, okay? So I'd love to have you guys here. If you bring a guest, there are raffle tickets. You're going to win some really cool things. In fact, one of them, who here wouldn't mind winning one set of these drops for you, by the way? So we're going to have some real cool prizes like this and others. So be sure to register. It's free. And there are limited seats, though. So be sure to grab it and bring your people. You can register for them. And it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, everyone. And that, whether you want to start on the drops or you're interested in partnering with us, get back with your friend that connected to this call.